Ladies and gentlemen, we are live here tonight. We are in Chicagoland with the Stars and Stripes series. We are just about ready to get started, folks. It is official. Qualifying is over. Quick time. Grattan top of the board in the number 46 machine. Going to kick off from the pole position. But, folks, we're going to jump straight into it here and get gridded up in the booth with me tonight. Christian Taylor. Christian, are you excited for this race?
I'm excited for this. I love Chicagoland, what it was and what it's going to be next year when we go back to it in NASCAR, but we got some grid to do.
The music in the background. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here for the Windy 200 with the Stars and Stripes Series in the Gen 4 Cup Series cars. Tonight's starting lineup is as follows. On the front row in the inside in the number 46, your pole sitter, Jason Grattan. On the outside, the number 32, the ladies' man, Griffin Salyer.
In row number 2, you find Cal McCoy starting in the 3rd position. To his outside, the person who will probably make it a couple laps, Chad White from Hutchinson Motorsports TV.
Boy, that's one ugly paint job. Chad White cutting corners with that paint here tonight, Christian. But row number 3 on the inside, going to be the number 9, Zach Kreitz. On the outside, the 25, Nate Lynn.
Moving on back to row number 4, I don't know what they're doing, but Bryce Barfield in the number 37. To his outside, Dylan Grimm in the 23.
Looks like Chad White was falling asleep behind the wheel. He's already looking like a clown out here tonight. But row number 5 on the inside, going to be the number 4, Aaron Hale, the 17. On his outside, William Duff, the 4.
And now row number 6, you find Scott Ricker, the GOAT. To his outside, Andrew Hess in that 54 machine.
Keep an eye on the GOAT, Scott Rickard, in that 05 machine. But we drop back to row number 7, starting in the 13th position. The 8, Josh Grattan. On his outside, the 77, Larry Griffin III.
Moving on back to row number 8, you find Brian Samara in that 53 BCI machine. To his outside, Ryan Lynch in that 3 car.
Back to row number 9 on the inside. Going to be the number 91, Chris Essery. On his outside, the 41, Michael Kurtzler.
Back to row number 10, you find BCI's driver Aaron Poplin in the 63. To his outside, Brian Pashimi in the 78.
That's a new driver there, but the pace car is in field. Is set. Christian, take us green.
Green flag is in the air. Josh Grattan, your pole sitter, takes us green down the front stretch, 10 to turn 1. He gets some contest when the 32 is going to slide in behind him. So little contest as they head into 2.
Absolutely a great jump there by your race leader. Throws a slide job on Salyer. Salyer trying to take over that lead early. We got a couple in the wall. Look out, Nate Lynch all over the place.
They're beating, they're banging back there. He gave him a little bit of a door slap or a side slap. Headed in through the tri-oval for the first time tonight.
Boy, you know, Christian, we didn't really have time to do a pre-race show or anything because we have some big news for you fans at home. You might notice for the first time ever on YouTube, somebody Motorsports TV is live here tonight in 4K resolution.
That's honestly better than Fox, better than, you know, even what Amazon Prime could have done for their followers. We have done better here tonight on Hutchinson Motorsports TV, the world's #1 broadcasting service, and I believe that has been fact-checked, right, Blake?
Oh, of course, everything we say has been fact-checked. But hey, if you're at home and you got a 4K monitor or TV, be sure, check your resolution, change it over to 4K, let us know how, because I bet it looks really crisp, really clear. Too many pixels.
Josh Grattan has had a couple thousand pixels in between him and Slayer. Now almost half a second.
Well, you know, we haven't seen a ton of them this season, but Christian, you may not notice that the ladies, man, Griffin Salyer in the 32, the ladies absolutely love it. Is on the screen. Our numbers with the ladies go way up.
Somebody who's troubling the ladies right now is Cal McCoy. He's working the low side under Slayer, trying to get around.
Yeah, Kyle McCoy going to work. You know, never count out McCoy. I swear every week he is up front right there with the GOAT, Scott Rickard. And it looks like
Definitely so. Look at some of these paint jobs you see here tonight.
Christian, what do you see happening with the 05, the GOAT, Scott Rickard?
Well, you know, right now he's just getting started. We know he tends to play the long game when it comes to strategy. I'm seeing him, though. My scoring is all messed up.
He's sitting in the 7th spot here, starting 11th. But Christian, I have to highlight something. You know, we talked about Team BCI earlier. Boy, what a joke this team is. We are back here. Look at this. Aaron Poppin, that's dead last.
We might have to refresh trading paints. I heard from JT and
right before we started the stream, so you guys must have the wrong
I understand that, but listen to these cars here tonight, Blake. They are just, the Gen 4 sound is amazing.
You know, Christian, actually, you know, I had to redo my settings here, so I bet I'm not on the right setting on iRacing. So give me a moment. It's hard to see on this screen because the way I'm doing this here tonight. So give me a moment.
Hold on, I'll look at you.
Again, they changed this UI. I have no freaking clue where anything is now.
Okay, so under graphics, other car detail, you'll find high card number. Under other car detail.
Here at Redwood, folks, I can totally redo my iRacing setup whenever I change over to 4K. These things are going to load in. We'll be good to go here shortly. But right now, out front, Jason Gratton, your race leader, as our lead still continuing to linger in. Here they slowly run towards the front. He started first, folks. He's still running first. Right behind him, though, Griffin Salyer, the ladies' man, in the number 32. Christian, I can do you one better. Now instead of second to last, or I'm sorry, instead of third to last and last, they are last and second.
I heard something about JT earlier tonight. Like, I just slipped you a note. We'll talk about that later, but make sure you read that note about JT. Take a look at JT and Aaron just battling for last. The Hutchinson Motorsports TV battle for last is a very notable position that they know exists, and they want to take that home with them.
Absolutely, and we just checked your note here. We should be better now. Just let me know if anybody can confirm. Nonetheless, out front, though, folks, if you haven't been hearing us, we've been talking about the Hutchinson Motorsports TV newest thing. We are in 4K tonight. I had to totally redo my settings, totally from scratch. But the GOAT, Scott Rickard, currently sitting in the 6th position. Started in 11th here. He is up to 6th. Jason Gratton, your race leader here. Again, folks, thanks for tuning in here. You're watching the Windy City 200 with the Stars and Stripes series right here on Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Jason Gratton kicked off from the pole position. He's still up there leading.
No, I'm just trying to listen in. Seems to be a little bit of a JC Gratton's lead is diminishing a little bit there. That sounds a lot better now, by the way.
cars are really close, these things get a lot loud. It's hard to adjust the volume because it's kind of crazy. And whenever we do the IMSA stuff.
The IMSA cars, they sound like made muscles, so definitely got to get the balance.
Absolutely, I'm looking at the levels now, and things should be good to go here, hopefully, but we'll keep our eyes on it here as Grattan continues to lead out front.
I noticed that Cal McCoy was attacking second, has fell back a pretty good distance behind Slater. Let us know in the chat who you're rooting for tonight. Connor Gerard in the chat. Always good to see him. One of the goats. Welcome in, Jared Hutton. Thank you for pointing out our audio issues, and we really appreciate that. Anytime something. Appreciate you, and hello to Adam Tyler. I see you up there in the chat too.
Some audio settings again, had to totally redo everything once we changed to 4K. I'm trying to find the information here on my screen, and I'm still working on it. So Christian, just keep an eye out on the track for us. I'll be back briefly.
Gentlemen, that was solo commentary. Right now we're watching Jason Grattan on this screen. He hasn't moved anywhere, but half a second on the leader. Now we move back to Dylan Grimm. He's in the 10th position currently. So he started in 8th, fell back 2 positions. So he's lost to 23. Lost my train of thought there, but he's lost to William Duff, and Nate's got around him. So we're going to keep an eye on Dylan Grimm. Hopefully he's got to gather back in and get a move more in the right direction. Definitely says it's been clean so far. 18 laps into this 133 lap race here at Chicagoland Speedway. This is a 1.5 triangle D-shape, 18 degrees at the turn, 11 degrees on the front stretch, 5 in the back stretch. So this track is baked everywhere you go. Really excited for next year too. 2026, the Cup Series will be returning to Chicagoland, and kind of at the cost of, road course here and there. We're not going to be doing the Chicago Street Course, which is unfortunate, but something we'll be coming back to in the pass is Dylan Grimm trying to get around William Duff here, and is going to make the pass the backstretch. I don't know if William Duff kind of yielded that position or not, but nonetheless, Dylan Grimm up in position, so he's there.
I think I fixed some settings here. We should be better off. It looks like it made a lot of adjustments that it shouldn't have, but nonetheless, we should be good to go here for at least a while. As Griffin Salyer here, side by side with McCoy in a battle for second.
Run here on the top side off the corner. He does. He's going to clear him. Falling right behind Let's test your NASCAR trivia knowledge, Blake, if you're back with us. The inaugural Cup race was in 2001. Won that first race.
Let me think here. Let's see, back in 01, I'm gonna go. Let's say Bill Elliott.
Unfortunately, you are incorrect. Kyle Busch actually took home the inaugural Cup race in 2001. I didn't realize Kyle Busch was running in 2001. That might be incorrect according to my background.
That'd be right. It'll be his rookie year. He has been around a while.
Definitely so. Tony Stewart, Kevin Harvick, and Martin Truex Jr. also had big Chicagoland runs. Perhaps the most famous one in 2018 was Kyle Busch and Kyle Larson had a last lap duel, with Busch giving Larson a bump and run. Of course, NASCAR later removed it from the schedule in 2019. Today it's been used as driving schools, testing, and special events, but not top tier NASCAR weekends until next year.
Absolutely. If we watch around the track, Grattan still your race leader. We got Zach Kreitz sitting in the 7th position. Pretty good night so far for Kreitz, but he's still going to go to work on these guys.
So that 36 machine. Hutchins Motorsports TV looking good on the track.
Absolutely, and I think one of the problems we just had, for some reason, it was playing the game audio through and then also the stream audio, so it was basically playing the game audio twice.
Well, good thing we got that straightened out. Big shout out to Jared Hutton in the chat again for pointing out that, so we can get it fixed for you fans watching at home. I'm seeing 13 people tuned in to Hutchins Motorsports TV, but you know, I only see 2 likes, so I don't need to say the rest. Y'all know what to do.
Yeah, I'm running the numbers through my head, and yeah, that's definitely not right. That's a little odd, Christian.
So, these Gen 4 cars bringing Chicagoland back to live virtually.
Absolutely. As we jump around the track again, let us know in the chat who you're pulling for, who do you want us to put the camera on, and how about this? We'll take a look at the newcomer, Brian Pizzashimi. In the number 78 machine, brand new to the league. He started back in the 20th position. Here he is, Christian, running 12.
Up 8 positions is honestly, that's pretty insane there. He's on the move as Aaron Hill is battling him on the outside. Somebody else who has been on a heck of a mover is Scott Rickard to go from 4th position. He's up 7 since the start of this one.
Yeah, he is on the move for sure. Up to 4th. He just got around Chad White, who has dropped back to 5th. Well, he's holding some people up, though. Look at that 36 car.
I know Chad White walked into the studio the other day, and you brought him in his office. Oh, he gets loose there. You brought him into your office, and y'all were in there a couple hours. Is that private information, or could you share to the public what y'all were talking about?
Well, you know, Christian, lately Chad has been wrecking a lot. He's been tearing up a lot of stuff and not even being entertaining or anything. He could at least put on a show if he's going to tear some stuff up. So we had a long talk with him, and let's just say things should get better.
Things got to get worse before it gets better, so I guess for his sake, I hope it does, as he's currently running in the 4th position. 27 laps into this 133-lap race.
How about this guy right here? Oh, Washington's out.
We're going to see what this is all about.
Nate Lynch is jumped.
Let's take a look. See him just get squirrely out the turn. The 23 gives him a bump, and it finishes him off. Says if you're going to spin out, you're going to do it right.
Yep, if you get loose in front of Dylan Grimm, he's going to finish you, and that's what he did there. Dylan Grimm says, get out of the way, loser. I'm junking you because you're in my way. Nate Lynch going to the back. But the caution is out here. We're going to take our first break of the night, folks. Again, we appreciate you tuning in. Be sure to click the like button here on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Hutchins Motorsports TV, the world's #1 streaming service. We are live in 4K for the first time ever. Here tonight, we'll be back in a moment. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at Chicagoland. We are off of pit road, your front row. It's going to be Grattan on the inside, McCoy on the outside. And Christian, how about we bring the noise here as we go green?
Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen.
Pace car is in. We're going to let the noises bring you green. Green flag in the air. Wow, what some great TV angles we had there with the harpoon design. Bring the noise. These engines give me goosebumps, Christian.
Absolutely, and if you're one of the drivers out there on the track that's just using your favorite driver's look-alike paint and you want to paint for yourself, I got some news for you. Head on over to harpoondesign.com right now. You'll see the beautiful Harpoon Design logo. Under that, a little red box you click that, go to a form link, fill out exactly what you want, and Brantley Roden over there with Harpoon Design will get started on your paint, and paint start at just $25.
As we watch the Harpoon Design blimp fly across your screen right now, be sure head over there, check them out. Harpoon Design.
And I said that right. I did not stutter. I did not say it incorrectly either. It is $25 on.
What are you seeing out of our leader, Jason Grattan, here so far, Christian?
I mean, honestly, I was just thinking to myself that this is just going to be the Grattan show tonight, apparently. He's got this place figured out. Scott Ricketts trying to chase him down, but he's just flying on away.
Yeah, there's just something about this track, you know, Grattan's got figured out. I haven't seen him really dominate this much yet, but let's see if he can continue it.
Oh, the car goes around. I saw that happen live.
Andrew,
don't know who it is, though.
Oh, we got dumped. Somebody got dumped. Yep, Andrew Hess did. That's the newcomer. Welcome to the league, Ryan Biz. No, never mind. Aaron Hale gets in.
I heard him say in the chat that he just couldn't get out of it fast enough. One thing about these Gen 4 machines is they do not whoa at all when you let off the gas. You know, Gen 7 has kind of a natural engine brake, if you will. They just continue to roll.
Let's hop on the dash cam. This is Aaron Hale right here. You're going to see that 54 Hess comes up. He has a run, tries to get out of the gas. Nope, dumps him.
I saw HMS TV on the back of that car before it got junked, so that just cost that guy some money for wrecking a car with our logo on it.
Yeah, you know, I'm not a fan of that. If you're going to take out a car that doesn't have Hutchinson Motorsports TV on it.
Andrew Hess. One thing I noticed about the SDK thing is, doesn't say his favorite catchphrase, but however, every top 10, you get to see his wieners. Well, on Instagram. Check out this man's wieners.
Man, I really hope the 54 can get a top 10 again here tonight, Christian.
I hope he's in the top 3 so we can talk to him personally about his wieners.
But hey, how about this? Some of these guys coming down pit road already. We got some major tire wear. If you're going to see a handful of cars after just putting a few laps on their tires, they're coming down. Actually, a lot of cars down pit road.
Well, if you got them, smoke them, and they probably have 4 sets, and with 133 laps, this is more on the shorter side of a race, I'd say.
Absolutely. And Christian, how many laps we got again today?
I think it was 133, wasn't it?
You could double check that for me. I have to manually enter it now.
Checking on that, ladies and gentlemen. It is 133 laps confirmed. At a mile and a half, I guess this isn't too short of a race. The Windy City 200, so we are going 200 miles, so maybe them pitting that often is going to bite them in the longer run.
Yeah, we'll see how this plays out again. And can you confirm there's only 4 sets of tires, right?
I did confirm that right after I said it. There's only 4 sets of tires, so Scott took tires there. We know everybody took tires the first go around. He's only got 2 more sitting in pit road, so that's not going to be pretty for him.
In the chat, we got Todd Gratton's rooting for the Grattons. He is not rooting for Zach Kreitz here tonight. You know, Todd is real particular on who he roots for. Sometimes he roots on the teammate, Zach Kreitz, but other times he doesn't. And tonight, he doesn't want Zach Kreitz to win.
Well, you know what? He's probably one of those fair weather fans. It's because Gratton's in the lead. But the moment he loses the lead, he'll jump ship right back up to the other guy. You know how that goes.
Absolutely. You know, and I don't really blame them, folks. But be sure we got 15 people watching. Click that like button. Subscribe to the channel here on Hutchinson Motorsports TV, the world's #1 streaming service. You are watching the Windy City 200 with the Stars and Stripes Series, Season 11.
See, my beautiful wife has joined the chat telling y'all to let us know in the comments who y'all are rooting for tonight. My #1 biggest fan right there. If I was racing, she'd surely be rooting for me, and I'd surely be letting her down.
Yeah, well, right now, BCI is on a strategy call. They elected to stay out, take some track position. Right now, you see Tinker in 9th, Samara in 10th, and Poplin in 11th.
You know, Liquid Death might be a horrible beverage, but that car is not too bad looking tonight in the 93 camp.
I tell you what, Liquid Death, one of the nastiest drinks out there in the business. I hope JT junks it just because I can't stand it. But the pace car should be heading in here. We are ready to roll, and we're going green once again here at Chicagoland. On your feet, off your seats, green flag in the air.
You tell the fans to get off their feet and never mind.
They just forget about it, Christian. But you know what? Hey, we never did our picks to win here. So I'm going to do the first pick here. I'm going to go with the 46, Jason Gratton.
I wonder why. I'll pick the go to Scott Rooker just because you picked the, you know, more of the obvious contender in that all black Chevy here tonight.
Well, I wonder if Jason,
sponsorships.
Salyer smokes the wall, but I wonder if Gratton's ever going to find a sponsor. You know, he's been struggling all season long to find one. Hopefully he can do so. But right here, here's the GOAT. I'm sorry, that's not the GOAT. This is the GOAT right here. Scott Ricker in 11th. He has the fresh tires. We saw him pit. So he has brand new tires. These guys in front of him have a couple laps on the tires.
We talked about the GOAT and originally put it on Aaron Poplin. You know, he may not be the GOAT, but he sure was pumped for his top 3 the other night.
Look at this drone I'm flying around here, Christian.
Look at the beautiful drone shots there. As McCoy's cutting the entire infield there.
McCoy's got the fresh tires. He started 3rd. He is back to 14th, not where he wants to be, but again, he elected to take the fresh rubber here, try to work through the field.
Maybe a call that might work out, but I'm just worried about the tires in the long run. We're only 41 in to 133.
Christian, you know what we need to keep our eyes on? We need to keep our eyes on right here, the Hutchinson Motorsports TV battle for last.
I don't think there's much of a battle right now. I think Ryan Lynch has got it pretty much clinched.
Boy, that is one hideous car, I'll give him, and he has the matching speed to it as well.
Bell South dial-up internet, you know. He can't even have a radio in that car because, you know, I'm actually going to tune to the radio, ladies and gentlemen. No, I'm not. Caution's out.
Andrew Hess involved again. Not a good night for Hess. See what happens.
That car is destroyed.
See if he got turned again. It looks like he did. So we got the 23 Grimm who got into Lynch earlier. Goes in the corner and let's see. Kind of moves him up the track. Oh, then they go 3 wide and yeah. So you know what? I'll kind of pin that one on Hess. They got 3 wide and he went up. He wasn't clear. The 8 was there.
Well, I guess we're not going to be asking him about his wieners.
Yeah, you know, that's unfortunate. Rough night for him.
He has let his wieners down. But Ryan Lynch can't get too excited because now that Andrew Hess has crashed, he's out of the running for the battle for last. So he still might be your battle for last winner.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see here. So Aaron Hess, he is way in the back. We're going to see what happens, though, with pit road opening up. These guys apparently just love burning tires, so we're going to see if they elect to do it again. As for some reason, this new score will not show the lap count, so I have no clue what lap we're on or how many are left.
I could pull up something for that. It was showing it earlier, which is, it doesn't show it during, okay, it shows it during green flag. So that's just something we have to take a note of during cautions that don't show it.
Yeah, so I'm guessing it's where it says third caution.
Probably so, probably so. So Jesse Becker, if you're watching, fix it, please.
Yeah. I will say that one's probably on the SDK development team. They've been putting a lot of work in getting these new components out, and that's just something I guess they have either overlooked or just don't really care about. But nonetheless, we got a bunch of guys down pit road again. Looks like only 9 of them are staying out on the track.
You know, the second time around, I thought it was a mistake to go in and get tires. But right now, if you're not going in and getting tires, you're probably messing up. As we are on lap 45 of 133, I put me in my own overlay up right now.
My boy Jason Gratton, he has led every single lap so far. Let's see if he can win this thing from green flag to checkered out front.
You know, we see this a lot on Hudgens Motorsports TV, where drivers just dominated the entire race, and it usually comes down to strategy that loses them the race.
You know, I've been kind of surprised. You know, McCoy, he really he started pushing up towards the front, but he's kind of hit a roadblock. Hasn't really gone anywhere in a little while. Right now, sitting in the 8th position with the GOAT right in front of him in 6th.
You know, we were talking about, what's that?
Oh, no, go ahead.
So we were talking about before the wreck, you know, we were talking about Ryan Lynch in that number 3 car, and the Bell Salpane. I kind of want to dial him up on the radio and see if he could talk to us. Ryan Lynch, this is Blake and Christian up in the booth. You got a copy? Oh. I guess we got the fax line for Bell South.
Yeah, looks like they're not using a radio out there, Christian. They actually have a hardwired internet connection into the car.
That's what that string is that's coming from the tower that has like an automatic retractor on it?
Absolutely, and I hope nobody picks up the landline phone or they will lose connection. Christian, I'm not sure if you were old enough as a kid, if you remember back in the dial-up days, but good times.
No, I do. My dad had dial-up. I remember that when he used to live over there off of somewhere Market Street.
Yeah, no, I've heard the stories of the big town of Leland, North Carolina. As the pace car heads in here, Jason Gratton on the front row with Griffin Salyer into the restart zone. Green flag in the air once again.
Jason Gratton gets a jump. Honestly, one of the better jumps of the night. He is gone.
Wow, this is something about Chicagoland. Jason Gratton is just a beast here. My pick to win it. He is looking good. As everybody else, though, is side by side. Let's hop on board with Chad White as he's cruising in the 4th position.
Look at all that traffic he's in. He's got 37 and 32 in front of him. Look at this wheel. This looks like a driver's track here tonight. Maybe that's Jason Gratton is just the driver.
Absolutely, he is wheeling that thing out front as Zach Kreitz throwing a slide job back here for the 9th position.
And that's like real close there.
These guys are wheeling these cars here as we got the Ritz car. Who is that? Is that Duff? That is a good-looking number 17 machine. Got the Ritz crackers on the car there. You know, Christian, I'm actually a pretty big fan of Ritz. You know, and a lot of stuff, you know, generic brands I like for a lot of things, but I don't know if you've ever tried generic Ritz crackers. They suck.
You know, I'm not a big fan of crackers. I think the, you know, pack of nabs would be the best I'll do with like the peanut butter cracker things, but I'm not a big cracker fan.
You know, typically I'd agree with you, but something about Ritz crackers just really hit the spot.
I gotcha. I actually talked to William Duff IV before this race. This is actually a throwback to William Duff II. In his racing days, he was a Ritz-sponsored driver.
Oh, wow.
So he wanted to run his grandpappy's paint tonight.
I wonder what kind of cars his grandpa drove. You know, the way I see William Duff IV driving, I wonder if he was in maybe a demo derby.
Oh, it was actually figure 8 racing. He was known pretty wildly around the slinger figure 8, of course.
I'm not shocked, but let's hop on to Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Nose cam, JT Tinker. He's looking to junk the newcomer to the league. That's the 78 in front of him, Brian Pizzicini. I think I got that. I think I nailed that. Pizzicini. I think I got it.
That sounds close, but I will say that if anybody could give the old welcome to the league, it could be JT Tinker. You know, he is one of the more liked drivers in the garage. All of these drivers love JT Tinker.
Boy, we saw a few weeks ago JT Tinker. He was intentionally wrecked about 3 times, and potentially he kind of deserved it.
Nah, he didn't deserve it, man. He was just trying to run his race, and those guys were just giving him all kinds of heck for it.
Yeah, but we drop back here. Nate Lynch, he started up front, was involved in an incident earlier. He is back to the 12th position, but again, he started in 6th. So let's see if he can get that number 25 Mellow Yellow machine back up front.
Blake, how could we have forgot? Connor Gerard in the chat just reminded us we haven't done a Pete Paints yet.
Oh, well, thanks, Connor, for pointing that out. Let's take a look. And, you know, we're going to start on our race leader. We know who he can see. Let's pull it up here. Let's pull up this beautiful Harpoon Design Peep the Paints graphic. And let's take a look around the speedway at some of these paints. Let's go up to our blimp. That's our Harpoon Design blimp, Brantley Road, and he's up in the sky. Somebody just junked it, by the way. Meanwhile, let's take a look. Josh Gratton just junked it. Let's see what happened here. We're still green, by the way. Then we'll peep the paints. Yeah, just by himself, ran out of talent. Josh Gratton goes into the corner, had a little talent going in. He lost it all right here. Loops it around. He's jumped.
I think he got it pulled off.
But we zoom in here.
Peeping the paints.
Yeah, peeping the paints. Take a look. What do you see here out of our race leader's paint job, Christian?
I see absolutely nothing, and I'm actually going to counter that question. That if you were Jason Gratton, what would you do right now?
You know, if I was Jason Gratton, I would probably just park this car, not even finish this race because I'd be embarrassed. And I would go to harpoondesign.com and I'd open up the the Google form he's got, fill that out. It only takes a minute, and I'd spend starting at $25, and I'd get me a paint job.
Absolutely. Something that the 36th in the 5th position has done. Chad White.
Well, not in this car. This one, actually, I don't want to say Brantley Road made this paint job because, you know, it's okay. Chad did okay, but it's definitely not a Harpoon Designs paint.
Definitely mistaken there. You know, now that I'm looking at it, definitely see it. That was not made by the #1 painter on iRacing.
Yeah, it kind of sucks, honestly, Christian.
I have to write an apology letter to Brandon saying that I even thought he designed that.
And how about newcomer to the league, Brian Pizzicini? What are you seeing out of that paint job there, Christian?
I think him and Jason Gratton are like brothers, man. They wanted to run matching paints tonight.
Yeah, I'll tell you that. And then let's drop back a little bit. Let's see how Michael Kurzelik's doing in the number 41 machine, trying to get a better look at this paint job. Let's, you know what? I'm going to try to control this drone here. Actually, I don't have it set up. Let's see if I can do it.
See, about got junked there.
There we go, Christian. As we peep the paints here, I'm going to fly the drone right here. The butt kicker, number 41, Michael Kurzelik. What do you think of this paint job?
I think it's a decent looking paint, but you're getting really close to the front of that car, Blake. You better be careful.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna drop over. We actually have a second drone flying around. I'm just gonna switch over to that real quick. Here it is. So we're looking right now at the Iowa State number 7 machine. That's Kyle McCoy. Boy, Iowa State's been on a tear lately in football.
Yeah, there's another car on the track from the right college tonight, I'll say. It's definitely not Iowa State.
Yeah, you know, Kyle McCoy, big Iowa State fan. You know, we got a lot of drivers from Iowa. Oh, I was getting close to the fence there. But we got a lot of drivers from Iowa. And, you know, the Lynches, they actually like Iowa University. And I tell you what, that team is so boring. All they do is punt. But that's going to be our Peep the Paint segment here. Let's take off the graphic and let's take a look at the scoreboard to see how things are looking for us. Pull that up. We're on lap number 59. Make it 60 out of 133. We're almost halfway done already. This race is moving by quick as the GOAT, Scott Rickard's up to third, Christian.
Rickard trying to work his way around Zach Kreitz. As we hit this backstretch camera that's pretty unique, I'd say.
Yeah, there it is. You know, this camera angle reminds me of NASCAR 2016.
2016, you say, huh?
Oh, yeah. Good year for NASCAR, you know, back in 2016. But here's a three-car battle. This is for the, I believe, fourth position. That's Griffin Salyer trying to hold off Aaron Hale and Chad White both.
Chad White, you know, they have to be careful around Chad.
Yeah, the way Chad's been driving lately, he's probably going to wreck him on purpose any moment. So keep an eye on that 36 car. He's about to jump the 4.
Aaron Hill in that payday paint car.
Now, let's talk about real quick, Christian, who is our biggest disappointments of the race? I'm going to start. You know, one of them's got to be this guy right here.
Ryan Samara down 2 positions before he started, so he has went nowhere tonight.
Hey, you know, I was talking to Brian. You know, he was calling me every single night asking for tips because I actually am from Illinois, so I know a bit about Chicagoland. And he's asking me every single night for some pointers on Chicagoland. I tried to help him out, but clearly it didn't help as he is running 17 still.
Yes, Danielle, 2016 was a great year. That's right, Danielle.
Oh, and the graphic.
You're going to be in trouble now, Blake.
Yeah, the graphic just popped up.
Well, then that makes it true. You see it right there in front of you.
I mean, I can't say I typed that out myself. I mean, if it popped up, it has to be true, folks. Brian Samara is still slow. Tell you he's not slow, though, Christian. Griffin Salyer started in second. You know, he dropped back a couple spots, but I can't blame him because the GOAT, Scott Rickard, got around him. And, I mean, Scott Rickard's going to pass you if you're in front of him.
So Scott Rickard is on his way on a tear to the front. Oh, 8 positions is the start of this one. And, you know, he kind of went on a little bit of an alternate strategy, but worked his way back up to 3rd place now.
How about Chris Essery? Yeah, Chris Essery right here. Oh, look at that paint there, Christian. What do you think of that?
Makes me just think of good old Rocky Top.
Yeah, boy.
Down in the Tennessee hills.
Yeah, what was it? Was it last week they had a great night of football, Christian?
I believe. I honestly haven't been watching them too much, but let's see. They last week
they lost. They lost
that
one
was
week.
The week before last. Yeah, that was they lost by 3 points to Georgia because the kicker decided to not know how to kick. But they walked a dog on UAB, whoever that is.
Yeah, exactly. UAB. You know, they're really picking some tough competition.
All I'm saying is they're having a better year than Bama.
Yep, roll tide. As Nate Lynch still working up through the field, sitting in the 11th spot. Let's take a look at some of these guys near the back. Aaron Poplin, he started in the back, Christian. Well, he's still running there.
You know, he got lucky with that 3rd place finish the other night. Amtrak was ready to drop him, but they decided to do the extension because of that 3rd place finish, and I think they're going to be disappointed. That car's not on rails tonight.
Not at all. It is kind of junk, honestly. As we fly the Hutchinson Motorsports TV drone around, I'm getting pretty good at these drone shots here. Aaron Hale in the 63 Amtrak car. Pretty basic looking paint scheme. Let's zoom out a little bit, see what we got in front of them.
Careful, Blake. Don't wreck that drone.
Don't worry, Christian. I'm getting pretty good at this. I haven't wrecked in a while. So here's Aaron Poplin. We're going to fly back. Here, I'm going to see if I can pass him. Let's see how close I can get, Christian. I'm going to see if I can fly right over that rooftop. Look out!
As you say, you're getting good at driving. Your driver's about as good as they're in the drone as he is in the car tonight.
Well, there's some drone debris on the track, but it's mostly plastic, just a little bit of metal. So we're going to keep it green here as there's a little debris on there, but that's all right. We are in lap number 69 here shortly. How about that? Out of 133 laps.
You know, we just passed lap 67 a couple laps ago. Have you been hearing all this, like, ridiculous talk or whatever it is 6-7 meme is? I don't even know what it is about.
No, I heard something about it, but I have no clue what they're even talking about, honestly.
I heard some kids at church saying it. I don't know. My IQ kind of dropped a few points.
I have no clue. I think I saw something pop up on social media. Somebody said something about 67, and again, I don't know what's going on. So if you're in the chat and you know what this whole 6-7 thing is, let us know. Connor, I'm sure you know.
Yeah, we definitely need somebody a little bit younger than us to keep us, you know, hip. And I don't even think the kids these days use hip anymore.
Absolutely not. But how about the 23, though? Dylan Grimm, he has been on a tear here lately, trying to junk some race cars here tonight at Chicagoland.
Started 8th, currently 8th, probably going to finish 8th. 8th is his number.
Yeah, he is number 8 tonight. No better, no worse. That's all you are, Dylan.
Well, if you break even, did you really lose?
I don't think so, but somebody who hasn't broke even, that is Scott Rickard, the GOAT, starting 11th. Here he is in 3rd.
You know, he's kind of came to a plateau.
Take a look here,
right
Christian. Look at let's compare it to the leader's lap there. So his last lap was a 32.2. Well, your race leader, who is the GOAT of Chicagoland, Jason Gratton, sorry, ran a 32.19.
He's almost up to a second lead over Zach Greitz, so he's out to dinner, hoping this race stays green and take this thing home.
And Kyle
Even
McCoy.
faster than Kyle McCoy.
Yeah, just a little bit faster. 3 thousandths of a second faster than Kyle McCoy. And then, you know what? Let's compare second. I think Kreitz might be reeling him in. Let's see. His last lap, 32.28. No, he's actually lost a little bit of ground. So, yeah, the fastest car on the track appears to be your race leader, Jason Gratton.
He is officially up to that second. It's back to third, so either these cars are in conserve mode or, like you said, Jason Gratton is just to go to Chicagoland. He is the Chirac GOAT.
Yeah, you know, and Christian, one thing it reminds me of, it kind of makes me think of Austin Dillon and Richmond.
Yeah, I mean, I was there 2 years ago when he won Richmond, or quote-unquote won. I know it was some questionable moves, and I'm not proud of the moves, and honestly, he shouldn't have done it, but if that late caution didn't run, you can't say he didn't deserve that race win.
Yeah, you know, especially, you know, and I think he would have got away with it if his spotter wasn't on the radio saying, wreck him, wreck him, wreck him.
Yeah, honestly, if I was Richard Childress, I would have defended my driver just the way he did, and I'd have fired that crew chief on Monday morning. That was the most ridiculous thing you can say on the radio is, wreck him, wreck him. Like, what are you doing? That was ridiculous.
I mean, NASCAR had their hands tied on that one. They had to do something. Whenever somebody's yelling, wreck him, and they wreck him, you got to do something. You know, normally the NASCAR will play dumb. They'll look the other way, let stuff slide, but that one you just can't do.
Especially when, you know, he did get into Joey and then he flat out just dumped Denny. So they had to do something. They made the right call, unfortunately. But if that late caution didn't come out, you still can't say he didn't deserve that win.
Absolutely. We drop back here. A couple of slugs racing each other here. Christian, what are you seeing?
Can you put it back in, like, normal time? Stop playing slow motion?
Oh, no, Christian is actually full speed.
What? Okay. You just see BCI creeping around the track like Ricky Bobby did at his test session.
You know, Christian, whenever I'm watching BCI race, this is what it looks like to me right here.
It's exactly how it is. Now, am I crazy? When Ricky Bobby came back for a test session to try to, you know, get his speed back, didn't they test at Chicagoland?
You know, I am honestly not sure. That sounds about right, though, to me.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Kyle McCoy off the track, Christian. Oh, the 23 is on. 23. He's just junking everybody.
If you were in an official right now, you'd be hearing on the radio, not clear.
Boy, Dylan Grimm is just on a tear here tonight. He's trying to junk the field, Christian. Boy, I tell you what, he knew he was the 8th best car out here tonight. Well, in his mind, he's like, well, you know what? If I jump 7 cars, I got a shot to win this thing.
Definitely. So what a move that was. Oh, Taylor Graham needs some security in the pits after this race.
Well, it's something about FedEx being on the car, maybe.
You know, FedEx is honestly pretty slow in anything they do, and they're honestly a terrible shipping company, I'll say, and proven here tonight they have terrible drivers.
Well, speaking of that, Christian, I'm actually, you have a package going your way from me, actually. Supposed to be FedEx, and they said it was going to be delivered today, but I looked and I knew there was no shot, so I haven't even checked on it.
I don't think, and Danielle's in the comments, she can say for sure if something got delivered, but
oh, I know it has. This morning I looked, and it was in a total another state still, and they still said it was going to be delivered today. I said that's not going to happen.
Yeah, one thing about my job is I'm constantly tracking packages of parts around as we have 55 laps to go, I might add. But I'm constantly tracking packages, and if it's coming FedEx, I just prepare myself for a letdown.
Absolutely. As Jason Grattan, as you can see our graphic right here, going into lap number 80 this time. Well, Christian, look how many laps he's led. 80.
He is the GOAT of Chicagoland, the Windy City 200 here tonight. Stars and Stripes Racing League, Hudson Motorsport TV, now broadcasting in 4K across the nation and the world.
Wow, 4K. I never would have thought it, folks. You know, just, hell, Christian, I think 4 months ago, we were in 720p.
Yep, somebody gave us honestly, somebody said, what are y'all doing broadcasting in 720p? It looks terrible. And honestly, we had to look at them and say, you know what?
You got a point.
You're right.
You got a point.
We raised the bar to 1080. We wasn't good enough. We wasn't satisfied there. So we went up to 1440. We wasn't satisfied there. Now we're here.
Nobody's ever done it before, but here we are, Christian. We have made it. And, you know, like you said, you know, we weren't 720, and somebody was like, you know, this kind of sucks. And, you know, a lot of times people give us, you know, tips and pointers that are just stupid. And most of the time, you know, I just ignore them. But, you know, that one, I was like, well, you know what? They kind of got a point. But Brian Burchett, what are you seeing out of Burchett here as he's running in the 12th position after starting all the way back in 21st?
You know, we haven't seen him too much tonight. He's kind of just been sneaking around midfield, but he has 9 positions like you just mentioned, so a decent run for him, I'd label it as, but he's got some more work to do.
Chad White down pit road with Griffin Salyer, so a couple of our, they were in the top 10 for sure. I think they were in the top 5 actually, but so the pit cycle has started here. I figured these guys would have to pit, and here it is. We're getting a green flag stop at Chicagoland.
Zach Kreitz 2 seconds down to your race leader, Jason Grattan. That car's got to be illegal. We're going to check it after the race. He's got nitrous. He's got to.
100%. Zach Kreitz in second place, trying to run him down. Aaron Hale third. The GOAT, Scott Rickard. And boy, I tell you what, I've watched the GOAT race a bunch of races. And he, on these green flag runs, he's always one of the last ones to pit, it seems like. He likes stretching out those tires. He wants better tires at the end. He's willing to give up some time early on.
Definitely so. Danielle in the chat says the graphics and broadcast looks good. You know, Jesse does his part for the graphics. Blake does his part for the graphics. And honestly, I don't do anything but show up and talk about it.
Well, somebody's got to do it. As William Duff IV, he's getting some fresh Goodyear rubber on that machine. He's going to get back out there, and here comes Jason Grattan down pit road for the first time. He's not going to be your race leader.
I think it's only going to last a few laps, though. He'll only miss a few as he had that 2-second lead going into pits. Zach Kreitz, this is the critical moment. If you want to have a chance to win, you got to do it right now. You got to play your cards right, Zach, because this is where you win or lose this race tonight.
Yeah, let's see what he wants here. Again, it's a trade-off. You come down early, you get much faster times right now, or you wait a little bit, you finish the race with a tad better tires. It's a real fine line to walk here. Because if you pit too early, you're toast at the end. But if you wait too long, you're going to lose a lap.
Right now, he has a pair of aces, but he's got to be careful not to push you too far.
There's the fresh tire difference. You got the lapper there, the 37. Barfield, who already pit, blows right by him. And Christian, I'm looking at tire fall off right now. Looks like 1.3 seconds on fall off for Zach Kreitz. Not as bad as I thought.
Nah. Not too bad there. And I do see it might be old, I don't know, but I just noticed that, you know, Scott Rickard had the quickest time tonight. Now it's to Bryce Barfield in that 14th position in the 37 machine.
Yeah, let's take a look. It's definitely possible. Yeah, I believe so. Ran a 30.9. I think that is. So yeah, Bryce Barfield with the fresh tires, putting down the quick time.
He's one of 3 cars that has made it into the 30-second range. William Duff the 4th, of course, Bryce Barfield, as mentioned, and Scott Rickard the GOAT.
Kreis and Essery down pit road here. So Aaron Hale going to take over that race lead in that number 4 machine out of Colesburg, Iowa.
Unfortunately for that payday machine, this is not going to be his payday as he's staying out too long now. I have a feeling it's still just giving time to our race leaders.
Second place is going to be Nate Lynch out of Manchester, Iowa. He is in second right now. He was involved in an incident earlier, and look out, Dylan Grimm's right behind him. He's seeing red.
Dylan Grimm has been a man on a mission tonight, and that mission has been to junk cars, ladies and gentlemen.
And you can tell we're on a pit cycle whenever you see BCI up here in the top 6, Christian. We've got 4th, 5th, and 6th.
So you see Aaron Poplin on screen, currently 6th. His team owner, 2 cars in front of him with JT in between. They are just staying together tonight. They do know that you can stay together, but if you're not up front, it doesn't matter, right?
I think they're just scared to race on their own, you know. They just can't go anywhere without each other.
You know, I saw them at a race just last year, and they were actually holding hands anywhere they walked in a line.
It's funny you say that.
Kindergartner style.
Christian, I actually met him for the Indy 500 in May, and it was weird. Anytime Aaron got up to go anywhere, Brian jumped up, and he just grabbed his arm and followed him side by side.
You know, like 2 girls. Have you ever noticed that if a woman has to get in the bathroom, another one's got to go too? It's the same with BCI. If Aaron has to pee, they all had to pee.
And you know what was really weird, though, Christian? You know, the reason I got to go because JT Tinker had to stay and work, but, you know, he called like every hour, and he was literally crying, saying how much he missed them.
Yep. You know, they just wasn't so far apart. It was like that episode of SpongeBob where, you know, SpongeBob had to go work at the Chum Bucket, and they were singing from across the street, you know, saying it's just a grill, but it's not the same without you. It was just the race was not the same. Brian pouted the entire time because JT wasn't there.
Yep, and then Samara and Tinker both down pit road, as well as Grimm. Poplin going to stay out. He's up to second now. Aaron Hale's still out there as well. So just 2 cars left that have not pit.
And now we're to 42 laps to go. This pit cycle has almost fully cycled out.
You know, I don't really blame Aaron. I mean, he's basically been running last all night long. You know, if I'm him, I'd probably just stay out there until I was almost out of gas because he doesn't really have much to lose.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I mean, you never know when that late caution come out. How many cars can you trap a lap down? But someone who is not a lap down anymore is Jason Gratton. He has got his lap back the hard way. So right now, if a caution come out, you know, he'd be the leader and everyone else would be stuck.
Yeah, here comes Aaron this time. He just put over the radio. He is pitting, and your race leader, Aaron Hale, as well. So both the Aarons down pit road. And they're going to give up the lead. Actually, Bryce Barfield's going to take it after short pitting.
McDonough, Georgia native. What do you know about McDonough, if I'm even saying that right?
McDonough, Georgia, I believe is what they call it. I think it's near Atlanta. You know, I don't really know too much else, but that's about it. From what I've heard, it's kind of a dump, Christian.
Well, they're cheering right now in the bar room tonight, but they're just too drunk to realize that he's about to pit and be drunk again.
No, he's already pit, though, Christian. He just short pit. So that's why Jason Gratton is reeling him in quickly.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Still, they're going to be disappointed because he's going to pass him still then.
Yep, he is reeling him in quick here. Let's hop on board with Jason Gratton, that unsponsored number 46 machine. He's going to blow by him on the high side. Say, later, loser, don't junk me.
Well, if he's short pitted, all I can say is the next relevant car then is going to be Zach Kreitz. And look at that gap now. 4 seconds back.
Absolutely. We know Jason Gratton's dominated this race. I'm trying to pull up our pit strategy board. I might be missing it on this new overlay, so give me a moment. I can get it added. But you know what? Let's take a quick break, though. Take our last break of the night, unless we get a caution, most likely. But we still got about 38 laps or so left here tonight. We are at Chicagoland for the Windy City 200. You're watching Stars and Stripes Series action on Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Be sure to click the like button, subscribe to the channel. We'll be back in a moment. we are back here at Chicagoland, the Windy City 200. Christian, there's only 25 laps left to go.
25 laps to go here at the Windy City 200. It's been one heck of a race that has been dominated by Jason Gratton. Honestly, the other cars should have just stayed home. They had no shot tonight as Zach Kreitz is in second, 5 seconds behind.
100% here as we look through here. I'm going to try to pull up some information, do some race analysis. Give me a moment.
While you pull that up, oh, you got it already.
Not much there. 1 second. Here we go. That's what I'm looking for. Yep, never mind. Didn't have time to get that set up. But here's Dylan Grimm sitting in the 5th spot out of Fort Collins. We got Danielle Taylor in the chat, Christian Taylor in the chat, Connor Gerard, Blake Hutchinson, the GOAT, and many, many others, folks. We appreciate you tuning in here. Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Be sure, click the like button on the video, subscribe to the channel. You know what? I forgot to send you over to our buddy, Larry McReynolds. He wants to tell you something. We'll be back in a moment. Listen up.
Hi, I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchinson Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
And we're back here. Wow, what a message. America's crew chief. He would never steer you wrong, folks. He's telling you to subscribe to Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Why have you not yet?
So, if America's crew chief tells you something, you just listen.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, anytime Larry says to do something, I just do it. I don't think. We got Chad White here, Christian, out of Loudon, Tennessee. He's running 7th here. Not too bad of a night. Not a great night either.
No, it definitely needs some more work, though. But I just feel like tonight's been the Jason Gratton night, dominating here at Chicagoland. Tune in tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be with the Great Lakes Sim Racing League GLSR at Bristol in the trucks. So definitely one to keep an eye out for.
I know Connor in the chat, Connor Gerard, he's going to love seeing that. You're not going to want to miss that one, Connor. They're going to be beating and banging and maybe fighting.
Definitely so. After that, we have a couple nights off until Sunday night. Or do you have a Saturday stream this time, Blake?
Yeah, actually, we do have the Saturday night Redemption iRacing series. We're going to try to do that one live. You know, it is a possibility we delay it, do it on a Sunday as a recording, but I think I'll be able to do it on Saturday, but we'll have to wait and see.
Definitely so. And people in the chat, go ahead and you see me comment in the chat. I'll be live Thursday racing solo POV style at Daytona. So come out and root me on.
This looks kind of fishy here, Christian. Oh, he just hits the wall. Okay.
I think it's hand itch. Is it hot in that car, Zach? Is your hand itch?
It's like he's trying to bring out. Looks like he's trying to bring out a caution. We got him swerving.
He went all the way up. He went all the way up to the marbles, which would, you know, definitely make that car break loose.
Little fishy.
I don't know.
Little fishy there, Zach, but he's still in second somehow. Didn't really lose much ground somehow.
If it whacks like a duck and waddles like a duck, what is it, Blake?
It's Zach Kreitz.
Ladies and gentlemen, though, by 4 seconds, Jason Gratton with 18 laps to go, still dominating this race here tonight.
We know Zach Kreitz, he was actually reeling him in there, Christian. He had a shot, actually, at him, but him going off the track there, losing about 4 seconds of ground, really hurt him. Let's rewind this a little bit. Let's see how close he got to.
Oreo just crushed himself.
So let's take a look here. Let's hop on board. This is right before the wreck. Well, I mean, he's really not close in. Somehow he didn't really lose any ground doing this shit. No clue.
Maybe just overcooked the turn, trying to just make something work. It's very easy to do that as we have a new quick time on the track. Excuse me. Kyle McCoy takes that position over.
Boy, I don't know what happened to McCoy. He's running 10th right now.
I saw that Oreo car. He done crushed his cookies up there on the wall. out of yellow, we stay green. 16 to go.
Yep, still green. Your race leader, Jason Gratton, my pick to win it out of Pittsfield, Illinois. The fellow Illinoisan, Jason Gratton, at his home track there in Chicago, we'll call it, even though I don't think Pittsfield's that close to Chicago.
You know, there must not be much to do in Illinois.
Yeah, kind of.
I say that when I'm from Leland, North Carolina, Blake. There is nothing you could do fun around this area unless you like the beach. Oh, Connor is a man of mystery. He called it.
Trying to find what happened here. Seeing some smoke. Oh, Larry Griffin is jumped. See the replay here. So we got the 77 car. Oh, the 30, the 53. No, Samara just junks him. What is with BCI? They're just junking everybody this year.
Drove through the man like he ain't even there. I'm hearing reports from pit road. They're having to hold Larry Griff the second back because he is trying to get to the 53 pit box.
We're going to hop on board here, Christian, and see what happened.
He gets into the wall a little bit there. And Brian Samara says, you know what? You got into the wall. I'm going to go, oh, gas. No brakes with it. And just turns him on around.
Look at him smiling. You can see the smile coming out of his face right now. He's just laughing.
He was all like laughing. Get out of my way, loser.
Wow. That was a dirty move. But the caution comes out here, Christian. I'm sure everybody's going to be coming down pit road, get those fresh tires here. We've only got about, I don't even know how many laps because it just takes it off during the yellow. I think we have 14. 18 or something. So 15, 14.
14 to go.
By the time we go green, it's going to be about 11 or 12.
Someone who didn't want this caution, and I know that for a fact, is Jason Gratton. You know, and I'm not too concerned about him because he's a missile. Here tonight, the car is illegal, but I know he's probably thinking in the back of his head, what if this ruins it? Oh, it almost misses his box. That is as late as you could stop in that box without having to back up.
That's an aggressive stop because that actually helps him leave the pits a little earlier, too. The closer you get to the line, the better because you don't have to fully accelerate when you're that last stop. And look at that. He beats him by a mile off pit road.
Yeah, but one thing about it, and it luckily did not hurt him here. Oh, no.
Oh, gosh. Look who's starting next to him, folks.
Oh, man.
Oh, Jason Gratton has to be sweating it. Dylan Grimm, who's junked 3 different cars here tonight, he might junk the 4th and win this race.
It was said earlier in the chat that the 23 might junk the leader to win it. I had to refresh my chat, so I can't see who said that, but somebody said it earlier, and that might come true here tonight.
Yeah, you never know. And if it was in the chat, it's probably Connor Gerard.
Connor Gerard is like a fortune teller.
I'll tell you what, nobody knows racing better than Connor Gerard. He's seen, again, he's probably watched more Hutchinson Motorsports TV than I have. And I started this thing.
Yeah. Connor Gerard, definitely the man with the plan. As there goes the Oreo car. His cookies are cracked tonight, but he's doing the best he can.
Yeah, let's go up to our eyes in the sky here. Brantley Roden flying around in the blimp. Christian, what are you seeing up there as Brantley flies around for us?
I'm seeing, you know, just a pack of hungry race cars that now has leveled the playing field. It's anyone's game unless Jason Gratton gets the jump that he's been having all night. That pace car driver looks scared for his life. As these cars are 2 by 2 behind them, they know the time has come. They know what is at stake.
Absolutely. The light is off. We are going green this time. Christian, what are we going to have? 11 laps left or so but when we drop the green?
My ticker says 1 lap to green right now, so I can't really tell you, but I'll make sure to say as we come back green.
Yeah, once you go green, the scoreboard should fix itself and we'll be good to go. But again, your front row, it's going to be Jason Gratton as the launch car on the inside, Dylan Grimm on the outside. Look out, Dylan Grimm might just take a hard left as soon as it goes green.
Definitely so. There's the pace car off.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag in the air. Jason Gratton does not get the launch that he needs. Zach Kreitz is right there on his bumper, heading through the triangle into turn 1. Does he have what it takes to get up on the high side of him? He goes for the move. It's all going to be on corner exit here as he goes through 2. Does he have the run? No. Gratton's going to pull up in front of him and maintain the lead.
Meanwhile, Dylan Grimm, he's sitting in 3rd right now. He's going to stick with the high side, try to get around Zach Kreitz, but he's not going to have enough room. And here comes Kyle McCoy.
This is the closest race that we've had all night. 3 wide for second, 23-7, and yellow flag is out. Oh, my.
Larry
Oh,
Griffin.
no, again?
Well, it's like deja vu here. Let's see what happened this time. Did he get some help? I think he did. I don't know. Let's see.
Well, if it is anybody helping him, it's Bryce Barfield, but...
No, he just gets loose.
Yeah. He gets loose and, again, gets helped on around. That's twice he's made an error that someone else has capitalized on.
Well, you know, the one with Samara, I don't think he made an error at all. I think Brian just literally ran him over. But, yeah, right there, definitely gets loose in front of Bryce Barfield, and Bryce finishes the job and junks him. Jason Gratton didn't want to see that yellow, but here we are. We're going to do it again.
No, as intense as that restart was, that was honestly going to be interesting on this now restart with 9 to go right now. Probably going to restart with 6 to go. My, oh my, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned for an electrifying finish here at Chicagoland in the Windy City 200.
Absolutely. And we're going to take a quick break here, folks, and we'll be back in a minute for the finish of this race, the Windy City 200 with the Stars and Stripes Series here at Chicagoland, Hutchinson Motorsports TV, world's #1 streaming service. Click that like button, subscribe to the channel here tonight. And we are back here live. Christian, we're about to go green. How many laps left as a pace car goes in? Take us green.
Ladies and gentlemen, green flag is out. Jason Grattan
Oh!
getting the jump with 7 laps to go, and there goes Chad around. We're going to stay green. He's in the infield. It doesn't matter.
Get that jumper
Sounds
out
like
of
he
the
got
way.
spun by Essery, maybe, as Jason Grattan got the better jump as they're 3 wide for second back there. Kreitz, slide
Oh!
job up in front of him.
Oh, look out!
He's going to get chunked.
Caution. Yellow
Big
flag.
wreck.
Oh, the whole field, not the whole field, but a big chunk of cars is junked. We're going to do it again, boy. That is not what Jason Grattan wanted to see. He actually got a good start, and they were 3 wide there for second. So let's rewind this a little bit here.
Zach Kreitz made an error that cost the everyone who was fast tonight was in that race.
You know, honestly, where this all starts here, he's really to come up there when he did was kind of a bad move. It was kind of a dirty block in my opinion. So here he is. He gets the 7 of McCoy. Is to his outside. He's really not clear. Just clears himself. Then he goes up too high, smokes the wall, and that's what caused the whole thing.
Yep, 23 involved, 78. Scott Rickard the GOAT. A lot of fast machines are just destroyed.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. He's racing hard, trying to have a shot at this win, Zach Kreitz. But let's see what happens here. Let's hop on board with the GOAT, Scott Rickard. So here he is. He's running, I don't know, 6th or 7th or so. In front of him, you're going to see him get tangled up right here, coming out of this corner. Here it is.
There's nowhere to go as it happens. Oh, unfortunate.
I'll tell you one guy who does like what he sees, though, Jason Grattan, as most of the fast cars involved in that wreck here. McCoy in it. I don't see a ton of damage from McCoy somehow.
No, that's going to be interesting. Can McCoy pull off the upset? And also behind him, you have the 91 of Essery in that Tennessee machine. Going to be another car to keep an eye out. Can he steal an upset here tonight?
Take the drone around the car, and yep, there's nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with that.
These broken Gen 4 cars.
Yeah, this damage model sucks on these cars. I tell you what, these cars are kind of a joke. But I tell you what, I've seen guys, they flipped before, had no damage. Then I've seen others, they bump the guy in front of them, and their whole bumper falls off, and they got like 8 minutes of damage. Chris Essery up to 3rd out of nowhere.
Yeah. That's just some Tennessee pride right there taking over, as it's from Bakersfield, California.
Yeah, big Tennessee fan out from Bakersfield. Right across the street.
Yeah, just an old skip and a hop, if you will.
Absolutely, but a big pile up there in that incident. We had some radio traffic going on. Nothing real crazy, though. Just some disappointed drivers.
We're going to start with 3 laps to go. What do you think of that, Blake?
Well, again, they were really down to 2 guys that actually have a shot to win this race, Jason Grattan and Kyle McCoy out front. Nothing against Essery or Duff I do got something against Poplin. He's got no business being up there. But, those guys, they just aren't on the same level here tonight as Grattan and McCoy are.
If I'm McCoy, I'm honestly going to roll the dice, and, you got to be with him to pass, obviously. So you got to start with him, and even if you taking a chance of getting that black flag for passing the leader on restart, it's your only shot to beat him here tonight. He's a missile. You got to be there. So leave with him, and unfortunately, if you beat him, that's just going to be the unfortunate part. But you got to play the cards.
Christian, we haven't really seen old Rocky Top up front yet this season. If I'm Chris Essery, I might be thinking this is my only shot to win, and I might just bulldoze those cars in front of me.
Name of the game is to survive, and survival tonight from Essery.
But we are set.
The
pace car is in. Going to be Grattan on the inside, McCoy on the outside. Green flag in the air, and another good jump by your race leader.
As the Oreo car gets loose in the back, stays straight. The Cal McCoy did not get the start he needed. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Grattan is gone with just 2 laps to go here at Chicagoland.
Yeah, we're watching a three-car battle for the 8th position. Here is Brian Burchett. He's going to take it for now. Let's see if these guys junk each other again.
Like Brian Zamora was trying to beat the wall down as JT Tinker's going to go down low under Aaron. JT Tinker with some speed trying to catch Essery, who's got
Slide job.
17 of Duff. Thinks better of it. Oh, right there at the lead, though. Kyle McCoy with the white flag out in the air. Kyle McCoy is there, ladies and gentlemen. Can he make the pass through 1 and 2? He's only got 2 more turns left in the backstretch as he gets the run from the high side, taps the wall. Doesn't kill his run, though, as he's still there. Blake, I hand it to you.
Going into turn 3 for the final time. Jason Gratton, he's dominated the whole race. Right behind him, Kyle McCoy. Good corner for Gratton. Coming out of turn 4. Checkered flag in the air. Chicagoland, Windy City 200 winner. Jason Gratton as they're junking it crossing the line.
The question is, was it JT Tinker or Chris Essery? I know they were side by side right before the shot cut away from the line. I'm seeing Chris Essery as the unofficial result, but did JT get around him?
No, he did not. Chris Essery beats him by 1/100th of a second for 3rd position, I believe.
So your top 3 is going to be Chris Essery, Kyle McCoy, and the most dominant driver of the night. His fastest lap, the fastest lap of the session was that last lap. Jason Gratton turned a 30.615. It was the quickest lap of the session on that last lap.
Talk about clutch driving there on the last lap. Well, Jason Gratton gets it done. Here he is burning it down.
Ladies and gentlemen, you saw here tonight in the Windy City 200 as JT's doing burnouts for his 4th position.
Well, you know it's a
Jason
tough
Gratton
season.
burning it down.
You know it's a tough season when you're burning it down for 4th, Christian. But hey, I tell you what, you know, JT Tinker, he did not have a lick of speed tonight. To come up on 4th has to feel pretty good.
Definitely so, but I reckon it's about time to talk to some drivers as I don't see Chris Essery in the chat.
Yeah, we probably won't. I don't think I've ever seen him in the chat. So go ahead and move on to our 2nd and 1st place winners.
Alrighty, but ladies and gentlemen, finishing 2nd tonight in the Windy City 200 with a last lap effort that was almost there, almost had it tonight. Kyle McCoy, this is Blake and Christian up the movie. Got a copy.
Hey guys, I gotcha.
You know, a long race here tonight, or kind of went by fast, but I bet it didn't feel that way on the track. You were right there at the end. Walk us through your strategy and how was it right there?
Yeah, the finish was great. Jason ran me really clean. I just tried to get to his outside and didn't quite have enough on the outside to get there. I thought I might have had a run. I maybe should have gone to the bottom on that white flag lap, but I don't know. It is what it is now. I'll take a 2nd after where I was running with 20 to go, so can't complain.
Yeah, definitely a good finish for you. You know, you kind of got stuck there around 10th or so for a while, so it has to feel good to have a shot to win it at the end. You know, Jason Gratton, though, he was just dominant here tonight. I don't know what it is with Chicagoland. Must be his track.
Yeah, he was awesome here tonight. He was really good. I had something for him maybe early on and didn't play a very good strategy and got myself stuck back on older tires, and then I got turned, and then it was one thing after another for a little bit. So all in all, I will take a P2 out of this because it was pretty hairy there for a second. Sorry to Zach and all the guys that got wrecked there at the end, but just kind of felt like he got hung on the fence and I had nowhere to go once he did. So we'll take a P2 and move on to Wilkesboro next week.
Absolutely. Again, a great run for you tonight, putting it in 2nd. You know, I haven't looked at the point standings, but my guess is you're probably you and Scott Rickard, I'm sure, are in the top 2.
Yeah, I've kind of been chipping away at what his point lead, but he was pretty far out there, so not expecting to catch him before the playoffs start, and we'll just kind of set up and gain some momentum and hopefully run a good last 5 weeks once that comes around.
Yes, sir. Well, hey, great job again getting a 2nd place finish. Christian, you got anything else for our 2nd place finisher here, Kyle McCoy?
Not much other than, you know, congratulations. And just like our race leader, you and 7 other people turned their fastest lap. The last lap of the session, did it just feel hooked up, or was it just giving everything you had is what that
That's full effort right there. I think that's probably what you're seeing. It's kind of funny because I got in the fence pretty hard off too and broke something in the steering. So if that was still my fastest lap, that's pretty funny. But yeah, it was fun there at the end to try to get the most out of it. thought maybe I could get to his outside, but just didn't quite have enough. So no, we appreciate you guys putting it on, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. Well, hey, great job. Once again, congratulations on another podium finish here tonight in season 11 for the Stars and Stripes series.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
That was Kyle McCoy, our second place finisher. You know, we're still not seeing our third place finisher, so let's go ahead and get our winner in here, Christian.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, your winner tonight of the Windy City 200 at Chicagoland Speedway. We're going to go ahead and call him the mayor of Chicago with his finish here tonight, Jason Gratton. This is Blake and Christian up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Blake and Christian, how you guys doing?
Doing good. A dominant performance here tonight. You led just about every lap with a bit of a caution fest at the end. What was going through your mind as the caution after caution came out?
Definitely wasn't happy about him. Would have liked to have seen it go green. I knew once we had that last green flag pit cycle that, you know, if it would have stayed green, it was smooth sailing from there. But yeah, once those cautions were coming out, I was just hoping that I didn't mess up on how much fuel I had taken. I took a little less to tighten it up a bit, but I knew the first couple of starts and restarts for the race I was okay, but obviously what people weren't going to be as aggressive at the beginning of the race, so I was just hoping that yeah, that was going to be a hold on. And once I saw McCoy get around my teammates, I knew it was going to be tough, but he raced me clean, and I appreciate that. And was able to hold on, thankfully.
Absolutely. You know, a great run. You were just dominant here tonight. And, you know, I was wondering what makes you so dominant here? You think it's part of the car, or is it the track, or a combination of both?
I'd say a combination. I unfortunately wasn't able to make it into practice, so usually for me, me not knowing what I don't know helps me out. I don't like to run a whole lot of laps. I don't like to test. I just get in and figure it out over the race, and then once I got the pole, I was like, well, shoot, maybe I should have gotten a little practice in, but yeah, I think just not knowing what I don't know helped me out. So
Absolutely. Well, hey, it definitely worked out for you tonight. Like Christian said, you dominated this thing basically from start to finish. In the chat, you know, Todd Gratton, I think he knew you were going to win it all along. He was pulling for you the whole night.
yeah, he's I'd have to say he's my biggest fan. So Todd, thanks for watching yet again. I appreciate you. Yeah, he's been here for both of them. So.
Yes, sir. Well, hey, great job once again. Before you head out, you got any shout outs or anything to add for our fans at home?
Just a big thanks to everyone that puts this all together. Admins, you know, Nate, Brian, Derek, anyone they've added that I don't know. And then you and Christian up in the booth. Todd for always watching and cheering me on. And my teammates, Zach, Dylan, and Josh.
Yes, sir. Well, hey, once again, congratulations on the big win here for the Windy City 200 at Chicagoland. Christian, any last words for our winner?
No, just a congratulations. That last lap was your quickest and the fastest time of the session. So I know you had your head down just charging hard. One last congratulations to our race winner here at the Windy City 200, Jason Gratton.
Thanks, sir. I appreciate you guys.
Sir.
Absolutely. What a run, though. Jason Gratton getting the job done. My pick to win it. You know, he looked fast early on. And a lot of times, you know, we have a lot of comers and goers and people drop to the back and this and that, but not Jason Gratton. He maintained that speed all night long, parks it in victory lane, deservingly so. And we're going to see how he can keep this momentum going as next week. Not sure where we're at. I kind of feel like we're due for possibly the Xfinity car or something like that. I have no clue.
North Wilkesboro. We are going to be, let me just make sure before I say it. I know one of the drivers just mentioned we are going to North Wilkesboro, but I actually have the schedule pulled up right here. We were just in Chicagoland. You saw it here tonight. we are heading to North Wilkesboro Speedway, the freshly rescanned North Wilkesboro. I might add, we will be in the ARCA car.
Okay, in the ARCA car, so that'll definitely change things up, see who's going to be quick, no telling who's going to show up next week. The only way to know, though, is to tune in and click that subscribe button here, folks, so you don't miss a lap. Here on Hutchinson Motorsports TV, we are streaming in 4K, and get used to it. We're going to be doing that basically on the regular nowadays, but we're going to be back here tomorrow night. The Wednesday night is GLSR Mr. Radiator Truck Series. We're going to be here, and then Friday night, we're not streaming, but we're going to be doing our Dash for No Cash events. The only way to stay up to tune in that, join our Discord in our description. You'll see some information. Join the Discord. We're going to be doing Indy cars at, I think we're either at Charlotte or Indianapolis, one of the two. I don't know. I know we're in the Indy car, though. And then Saturday night, the Redemption iRacing Truck Series is going to be live here for their season opener on Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Sunday night, going to be back once again for the MCR, Motor City Racing IMSA Series. And I believe Jesse might still be alive, who knows, for the blackout race if you want to put yourself through that.
Ladies and gentlemen, you saw tonight Chicagoland, that last lap. I just want to reiterate again that there were 7 cars that set their fastest lap, with, of course, Jason Gratton being a 10th faster than the rest of the field, putting on a show here tonight.
Absolutely. A great race overall. You mentioned it in the interviews, a kind of a caution fest there at the end, but boy, it was clean until then. We had a long run, which included a green flag stop and everything. So we had a little bit of everything, had some good, exciting restarts, a great finish, some long runs, and green flag stops. What more could you ask for, folks? So again, before you head out, click the like button, subscribe to the channel. And that's really about all I got. Christian, you got anything else?
Nope. Just stay tuned in tomorrow night, the GLSR Mr. Radiator Truck Series, and don't miss the action. Listen to Larry Mack, as he said earlier. Subscribe today to Hutchinson Motorsports TV.
Absolutely. Well, hey, that's really all we got here from Chicagoland in the beautiful state of Illinois. In the booth with Christian Taylor, Blake Hutchinson signing out with Hutchinson Motorsports TV, the world's #1 streaming service. Be sure, be back here, same time, same place tomorrow night. GLSR Mr. Radiator Trucks back on air. See you next time.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchinson Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Hutchinson Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright and the stands are packed.
42 right there with him. Smokes him. Oh my goodness! Oh! The whole field is junk! It's a parking lot! They door slam each other! Checkered flag in the air! It's gonna be too close to call! Oh, he just got smoked! Oh my goodness! Turned! He got dumped in IMSA Racing! Caution is out. We saw a lot. Oh!